Hello there. My name is Diamond Ryan, and this piece has been a very difficult piece for me to do for a very long time. It is the voice of a predator, and it deals with domestic violence issues. I, as a survivor, have a problem with the word domestic violence. The word domestic means tame, and there's nothing tame about it. I wanted to do this piece not because I'm harboring any anger or anguish about the past. This happened a very, very, very long time ago. And even though I have moved on, I haven't forgotten what I went through and what it cost me. I wanted to do this piece because I also hoped that it would help others who are going through their journey to be able to recognize signs, to be able to make smart decisions, because it involves so much more than you can imagine. The healing process, for some, is a very difficult journey. And even for those that make it through and seem to be all right, it never really leave us. And even for those who have gone on with their lives and seemingly to have moved on, it never really leaves us. And so I wanted to share my little piece here. This is a piece of voice messages. I left the voice messages as they were saved to my phone, and I just copied them from my phone to a disc. And I've had that disc for a number of years. This incident occurred almost a decade ago, and I'll say it ended almost a decade ago. It actually began 3 years prior, 4 years prior, and it will be another 2 years or more for the physical healing or the homelessness to end, and for the journey into physical healing to begin, because I had become a part of the invisible visible. There, but not really there. Seeing me, but no one saw me. When you lose everything in the world, this world measures us so much by what we have on the outside and never really dealing with what's on the inside. But and it still hurts. I haven't moved all the way from it, but I have moved on, and I'm closing another door on a chapter that needs closing. When I first heard these messages, it was at a point in my life that was the most startling time for me, the most abusive time for me, the most terrorizing time for me, the biggest loss in my life time for me. I had lost connections with my children. I had lost connections with the world, trying to hide and separate myself from them to keep them safe. Losing everything. I'm a woman who had built businesses into 6 figures, coming from nowhere, out of a home with no family support, and having survived. And then you meet someone, and this person and I, although because the ordeal lasted so long in the public's eye, that it appeared that we must be dating, because a problem like this surely could be resolved by calling local authorities or going through proper channels But believe me when I tell you, I did more than that. And he still walks free. 18 felonies against me. Threatening harm in the vicinity of my child at a public event. Terrorizing every home I've ever lived in. Day after day after day. Year after year. Minute by minute. My life became a matter of not planning what I'm going to do for the weekend or next week or next month. It became a matter of me deciding what I'm going to do. Not even this day, because when homeless sets in, you don't think about the day. You kind of live, micromanage your life, and you live minute to minute. What am I going to do the next minute? He'll be back around the corner in the next minute. You start thinking differently. You detach from what you were doing in normal life to just trying to survive. And so this is a little bit about this ordeal. I think the hearing of the voice, I mean, we all talk about domestic violence and we share our stories, but no one can actually feel what another is saying except that they recreate their own experiences within themselves, and they feel that. And sometimes our young girls, our young boys are getting involved in relationships at very young ages, into adult type situations, and are finding themselves even parents at young ages and not really knowing male-female realities because it's not taught in school. You prepare me for the world, but you don't prepare me for who I'm going to be with in the world, or how to get along or understanding one another, and more character building in our schools. These things should be principal elements of our education as well as English. But anyway, I digress. I've gotten on a platform since my ordeal ended, and try and speak out about these things, become a voice. A lot of time has passed. Over a decade has passed. A lot of loss. And fear, disempowerment, unwellness, lack of assistance, proper assistance, support, makes the journey very long and arduous one. And well, basically it's, life is just what it is, what it is. You know, I had someone tell me once that, a friend of mine told me once that what is best. I found it so difficult to conceive of a notion of what is best. And a lot of times we go through hardship, some of us more than others, and some of us don't survive at all. And some that do are not wholly intact, never again, as they were. It's an arduous journey. And so if I can share anything with this message, to hear this voice, to feel these moments, to read these reports, to see this journey, I hope that more than importantly, that not only that it softens the heart of others out there that are going through this journey to know you're not alone. It feels like it at the time, I know. More importantly, I'd like to share with people who might be listening or viewing this tape that this is about survival. It's not about anger. It's not about getting back at somebody. It's not about terrorizing the terrorizer. But it's about trying to give a real side to an intangible experience, a voice to it. Domestic violence is not just a home issue, a private issue, a family issue. We need to take violence out of the home by separating it by law first. Anyone who abuses anyone, other, whether in a dating relationship, married, or public figure, should be protected by law against terrorism and abuse in America. The word domestic, tame, home, violence, the two don't go together.